Hello and welcome to Random Fandom Chats. I'm Dee Dee.
I'm Tandra.
And this is Annabeth. On here we talk about anything fandom related, sci-fi, fantasy, superheroes, from books, TV shows, comic books, games, pretty much anything you can think of. Today's topic is Supernatural. Now, it's kind of interesting because you've actually never seen Supernatural before.
I think I saw the first episode years ago when it first came out.
Probably. Well, and we own the first season, and I watched the first episode a couple times when I've tried to get back into it, so you've probably seen it at some point. And me, myself, I've only seen, I think, up to season 4, I think. I don't know, guys. What season did Castiel show up? Because that's about this time I started watching it. Okay, so basically in this vlog, it's just going to be me telling you a little bit about it, and just kind of our general discussion. So it might be kind of interesting hearing us talk about it, since we don't really know that much about it.
We might get a lot of comments on this one.
Yeah, or it might just be a complete train wreck, but we'll see.
I don't know. Well, okay, I do remember vaguely the first episode a little bit, but like I said, that was so many years ago, and it was just kind of, and it seemed intriguing.
Yeah, well, and of course, we like things like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, so I was always interested in this show because it always kind of seemed like that,
Sure.
It seemed like something I would like. Okay, so the basic premise of the show is that you got these two brothers. Dean, the older one, he's a lot more kind of like a typical guy, likes AC/DC, likes his car and whatnot. And then you got his younger brother, Sam, who's a lot more studious, a lot more of the intelligent side of things, voice of reason type and whatnot. And basically, when they were children, their mother got attacked by a supernatural force, presumably a demon, and she got killed. And their father was pretty much forever changed after that, and pretty much was hell-bent on finding the demon who did it, and also,
Any particular reason why she was singled out? Or was it random?
You find that out later. I can't remember, honestly, if it's in the first season or not, but I remember them revealing a little bit about that, so I'll tell you a little about that once we get a little bit more of the basic story down. So from then on, the father was kind of bent on tracking down the demon who did it, and also, just killing other demons and supernatural creatures along the way. So these kids, unfortunately, grew up basically constantly on the run, learning how to survive and hunt demons from the time they were children, basically. And it fast forwards to, I guess, when they're in their 20s / early 30s, and the younger one has tried to go off and basically lead a normal life. He's in the middle of going to college. I think he's even about to graduate, I think. And his older brother shows up and says that their dad went hunting and is now missing. So Sam decides to go with them, and the first season is just all about them following where they knew their father was last and just trying to track him down, find out what happened to him. And so stuff goes down, and I actually really do like the first season of this because you really see their interaction as brothers, and it's a very believable relationship between them, and of course their personalities clash. Dean is very resentful for Sam for basically leaving them and trying to lead a normal life, and Sam is resentful towards Dean because he wants to live a normal life and whatnot. They come in contact with ghosts, vampires a little bit, although I think, if I remember correctly, in this universe, vampires are kind of like a dead race almost, so you don't really come in contact with them very often, but when you do, they're really nasty. But I think they also came across Bloody Mary, or a Legend of Bloody Mary type deal. So very interesting, and it's kind of an interesting perspective because they travel all across the world. They end up in Fort Wayne, Indiana once. I think they actually end up in Indiana a couple times. So they're just going around all across America, fighting demons, saving people, the family business. That's their catch line. Saving people, hunting things, the family business.
How on earth do they survive? They don't have jobs.
Well, their dad taught them to do things like hack into bank accounts.
Oh, lovely. Okay.
And stuff like that. And so they manage. I mean, I still think it's a little bit unrealistic because, like, yeah, they stay in like crummy motels, but they still stay in motels like almost every night. So it's just like really, okay. And they're able to eat in like skeezy diners and whatnot. And I'm just like, oh yeah, sure, you're totally able to just steal all that money because it's so easy to do that.
I suppose so. I guess if you steal enough.
So, despite the little bit of suspension of disbelief you have to have, this first season was honestly pretty good. And of course, there's the mystery of what happened to their father. They're using his journal to try and track what he was tracking and whatnot.
So it sounds interesting from that point of view.
Right.
I mean, all the stuff involved. But
right. And eventually, like I said, I can't really remember if they revealed this at the end of the first season or later on. Basically, the reason why their mother died was because this specific demon has basically been choosing children to imbue with power so that he can later use them in an army, basically.
So he basically is wanting them...
He's wanting Sam specifically, because Sam was just a newborn baby at the time, and he killed his mother right in front of his crib. So you find out that this demon is basically wanting all these children to basically be his minions, and I think, yeah, there's even a thing where, like, he gives them power by, like giving them his blood or something like that, so... Big nasty stuff, and he always kills the mother as a way to like traumatize them from birth and whatnot. And
so why'd you stop watching this show?
I mostly just stopped watching it because it just the whole subject matter was kind of dark, but it really just kind of got progressively darker and darker and darker. And you know me, I don't mind a little bit of darkness in my shows. When they just start becoming just complete and utter, just terrible darkness, I'm just a little bit like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, it's kind of a blot on your soul.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny because, like, I have, like, one of my best friends is really, really into this show and has been, like, a faithful watcher of it. And even she admits, she's like, yeah, it's kind of terrible the way it's so depressing. And so even their, like, devoted fans are like, yeah, it's horrible, but we love it. and, like, the brothers are, like, constantly dying. Like, and coming back to life, which, I mean...
That's actually not uncommon nowadays.
True, but, like, because, like, the younger one, Sam, dies at the end of the first season, and their father sells his soul, I think, or trades his soul to save Sam. So they meet their brother, they meet their dad at the end of the first season, but then he dies, of course. And then... Eventually, Dean dies, I think at the end of season 3, because when season 4 picked up, or maybe, I'm sorry guys if I'm getting this wrong, it's been a really long time since I watched these, and, like, Dean died and was in hell, I think, for some reason, which makes no sense to me, because, or no, he might have ended up in hell because he sold his soul, maybe, I think, I don't remember. And so, but he came back to life because an angel of the Lord, Castiel, actually pulled him from hell himself and brought him back to life. And I guess at that point, God had, like, chosen the brothers to be, like, his champions in this oncoming war with this big bad demon, I think. I think that was the deal. And so Castiel basically, like, came down and was going to, like, guide them on their mission, basically. But at that point, I was kind of just like, yeah, it's already dark, and it looks like it's just going to get darker and darker, so my interest in it just kind of waned a little bit. I'm still cool with hearing, like, my friends, like, rant about it sometimes, but I'm just kind of like, cool, yeah, that's cool, yeah.
Well, I just wonder if I should even watch, like, the first couple seasons or something, because it sounds like those are interesting, and they have some cool...
Yeah, I mean,
storylines and some things that might be good to watch. But
yeah, I would definitely say that, you know, the first season is definitely worth watching, and even up to, you know, like the second season and whatnot. It's just, and of course, you know, I understand why people love it so much. It's just me personally, it just started getting too dark for me, and it's just like, yeah, I already watched enough shows where it's like kind of just constant drama, so I just, yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about that on a couple logs back about how you gotta have a little bit more humor, a little bit of
like
lightheartedness, a little bit.
There is quite a bit of humor, especially in the earlier seasons, because, like, Dean is, of course, a type, you know, he acts like nothing bothers him, and he's all good, and, you know, he's always making, like, you know, comments. He's also the type who, like, pretty much any female character they come across, he sleeps with. He's that character. But, I mean,
I can see some girls appreciating the show then, for sure.
Oh yeah. Their fan base is definitely chock full of girls who do not mind the fact that the two leads are pretty sexy looking guys.
That part's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I might have to give that a shot, and maybe some other time, you know, if we have another topic about this, maybe we can
elaborate
a little bit more.
Another thing that I personally didn't really like about the show is, you know me, I love my strong female characters, and honestly, and I'm not afraid to admit this, I am more inclined to watch a TV show or read a book or whatever if it has a female lead. I'm not saying that, you know, if the two leads are male, I'm not going to watch it, obviously, but any of the female characters they really had on the show that had any kind of presence, they usually killed off or had something horrible happen to them, and that was like a constant for like any female character that was on there pretty much.
I mean, there are a few shows that works with, like Quantum Leap, for instance, that worked okay to have just the two main male characters.
Right.
And so you can get by with some shows that work like that.
Mm-hmm.
But in this day and age, we need, I think, more... They're out there. They're in almost every, you know, good show out there.
Well, and like I said, it wasn't just the fact that they didn't have very many strong present female characters. Is that almost all of them died or had something horrible happen to them, and that's personally something that really bothers me. It's just like,
do they all have to die?
It's like female characters do not always have to die. Okay, just
to be the damsel in distress or be the screaming one off on the corner.
Right? It's like they do not have to be just, you know, a plot device for man pain.
Well, I think part of it too with this show, one of the reasons why is it would mess up the dynamic if all of a sudden there was a woman involved doing stuff. Very true. Probably, and that's probably why they don't have that in this show. Because that wasn't the format of the show to begin with, and that probably makes sense for this show, but it does probably make it a little harder to watch if there's not that.
Especially since that is something that personally kind of irks me.
Right.
So that was one specific thing that really just kind of annoyed me about the show. And like I said, kind of like the darkness aspect, that stuff started getting worse and worse and worse, and I'm just kind of like...
Well, and if we binge watch like we like to do, having something that's very dark like that, and you watch too many in a row, and it's like, oh, whoa.
Yeah, it kind of just like hits your soul, and you're just like, ugh.
Like you stopped watching Arrow because you thought it was too dark, and I actually liked the show well enough to watch it. So
that is true.
You know, so there are some that aren't, you know. But on the other hand, if you watch too many in a row, it's like, oh wow.
Yeah, I really probably need to try watching Arrow again.
But, all right, so I guess it's time for us to pick out next week's topic.
Yep. Alrighty, let's see what we got here. You want to pick it this time?
What do you think, Annabeth? What are we going to do? Got a couple here. Which one? Well, she just is not going to do it.
I can't even get her to pick between two of them.
I know, right? Alright.
You're so lazy.
And this dog actually stayed up when she was a puppy to watch Star Wars. She loves this stuff. But
she gets bored with our fandom talk sometimes. We talk about this stuff a lot.
Ooh, video games. Dragon Age.
Woo! Dragon Age. Awesome. We're actually getting like a nice, you know, like...
little mix here between TV and movies and now video game. Okay, Dragon Age. You know, that's actually one I don't think I've...
You played the first one.
Did I?
I think so.
If it's the one
I don't think you finished it.
Yeah, okay. If it's the one I think, we'll talk about it, and we will come back next time and say a little bit about it.
Alrighty.
All right.
If you guys liked this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you like what we do, think about subscribing to us.
And give us suggestions as well. Thanks.